So we're gonna start half guard. I'm gonna go knee shield. Now, when I'm in half, my left foot, I don't wanna be like this. I can start here, but eventually my foot has to go low like this where I'm hooking in the shin, and then my shin goes across the stomach. So I'm in like a low Z-guard position, right? So usually how it starts is your partner starts to come in for crossface. I wanna keep the shield here. And then I'm gonna start going for this arm. So I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna go palm to palm, or I'm gonna go butterfly with wrist to wrist. Now, you have to make sure that at least one side of your arm, which I like to go from my top arm, my palm's facing me, and then I'm clamping right here. Because this isn't, it's not really to keep the elbow out, although it's hard for him to slip it. It's more to control his posture and to create frame. Because if I'm here, right, he can posture up, pull out his arm. If I can keep his posture low, I don't worry about him pulling it out because he can't pressure in, he can't pull out his arm, right? Posture is everything for this one. The other option you have is if this arm ends up turning, you can hook it down here. So it's almost like a Kimura trap. So now you're gonna do the same thing where you're controlling the posture, but you have a little bit of a bend, so it's harder for him to just slip out his arm. So we'll go up here or we're here. Either here or here. Now, for this one, I want to extract my top leg. So if he's loose on my top leg, we can just swing my leg all the way around. So I'm going to swing this one over. I go to the top of his head. Now, the biggest mistake is people just start threading here and they can't make it. So I want to angle his arm out and I want to stomp down on his head. So now I have a clear shot. Then my leg is going to go over and it's going to thread through to his far side hip and I'm going to pinch. So the most important thing is my left foot is still hooking, my right foot is hooking on his far side hip. And this is going to create a little bit of tension. So I'm going to pinch, I'm going to go to the wrist, I'm going to extend my right leg a little bit and then pull that pinky towards me to finish the armbar, right? So I'm just here like this, going. Now, the other thing I can do is where he has a lot of pressure. So I'm here, I'm keeping nice and clamped, but I can't swing my leg out. There's too much happening here. I can snake out a little bit. My right knee is gonna come right in front of my right bicep, and then I'm gonna push his head away. So I'm here, I do a small snake, I break my knee here, and then I start driving in. Then I drive his head down, and then I come over the top and I thread here. I'm keeping the tension here, finding that wrist, and I can even go just here and I can finish. Or I can go this way, pinch, and I can go. So one more time. Z-guard or knee shield, I'm hooking this one here, and it's going to be important later on, and I'm framing. Then when he comes in for crossface, right, I want to come in and control that posture. If he's loose, I throw my leg over the top, I stomp, and then I go. If he's a little bit tighter, I can do a little bit of a snake, bring my knee on the inside, and then flare. Then I can stomp, and then come over the top, and I thread across that far side hip. And this is my distance control. Hooking, then I go to the wrist, I pinch, and then I finish your armbar. Perfect. Okay, so questions on the first variation? Yes?
Should short people be able to lash on the top of it too, or is there an alternative?
Yes. You're talking about threading the right leg through?
Yeah.
And yes, you'll be able to hook it anywhere along his left thigh. You'll be able to hook it. Yeah. Okay. All right, with your partner. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now we're going to talk about what your partner is going to do. Right. So he comes in, pressuring. I can snake, bring this on the inside. Remember, drive heavy, and then come over the top and thread. So I want to make sure that I'm on that far side hip. So what he can do is he'll roll over his right shoulder. So if I keep everything where it's at and he rolls over the right shoulder, right, I can follow him and I can still finish it. I need to elevate my hips a little bit and then turn and finish, all right? But that leg hooking, it's a little bit unpredictable on what he can do. So we're gonna disengage a little bit. So here, if he's open, I can just go over the top. I'm gonna drive down, then I come over the top. So if he rolls, just disengage. My right foot goes underneath his right armpit. I snake and then I throw my left leg over the face. Make sure I'm controlling the wrist, pinching, 2-on-1, and then finishing the armbar. The other thing you can do with your legs is threading your right foot behind the head, which is always going to be a lot stronger. So remember, left foot has to hook that bottom. Right one is going to come in low. He comes in for the cross face. Boom. I have it nice and tight. If he's heavy on my knee like this, I'm going to snake out. I want to bring my knee on the inside here. Then I drive down and I come over the top and thread. So if he goes over, right, I can thread my right foot underneath his head and then throw this one over. So now I'm here and I'm here. And then I can control and I can finish. It's hard to finish when you're on this angle. It's better to finish when you're on this angle. I have better access to his arm, and then my leg can stop down, preventing him from coming up. But if he overcomes it on this one, I may lose the head, and then I have to chase him. So make sure that when you're finishing, you're on this side, coming over the top, pinching, and then finishing the armbar. Okay? So partner rolls. Let's see if you can follow him and finish the armbar. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so another common response is when they're in that Choi position, they want to step over almost like they're defending omoplata. Right? So same thing, I'm hooking, shield's low, he's coming in, I'm going for that grip. Remember, if his arm is turned, I can always hook on this part, or I can get my butterfly grip. So here, if it's an open shot, I just come over the top, I'm going to stomp down to create space, angle his arm a little bit, and then I thread this over. So if he starts to posture and then he steps over, right? So he steps over and then he starts posturing up, my leg is just gonna follow like that. So it's easy when his head's up for me to just follow my foot behind, elevate, and then finish with my armbar here. All right? So one more time on that one. Hooking, if he's tight, right? I can snake out, bring my knee on the inside towards my bicep. And then I can drive, but I'll probably have to stomp down again to go over the top. So again, I go to the wrist, he hops over, but immediately tries to posture up, I hook, throw my leg over, and I go. Depending on how high he is. If he's low like this, I can just go over the top and go. If he's really high, I have to bring my, I have to bring my hips up really high like this towards him. Because if I just try to throw here, he's gonna slip his arm out. So I gotta go real high and go. Now, the other thing that would happen is I don't like it when he steps over. And it means if he steps over, I don't have enough control. So I'm here, I snake out, knee comes to the inside, boom, I'm gonna stomp, then I come over the top. So we're here. If I feel like he starts to step up, I wanna make sure that I'm keeping my legs clamped to the ground like this. So his shoulder and his posture is broken. So when he starts stepping over me, I can finish the armbar right here. I don't have to do anything else. I'm pinching together and my right leg is clamped on the ground so I can finish here. If he continues to step over, right, I just finish it right here. It's super tight. I'm just keeping my right leg really, really heavy and I'm clamping it together. You don't need to figure 4, you can. You can just keep them separated, pinching on the ground, and then going for that armbar. It's about control. If your partner is able to jump over and posture, you're probably going to lose the position. So this is always going to be your better option, right? Here. I'm going over, stomping, through. So I want to keep my right leg heavy. So when he starts to step over, I should be able to finish it right there. I'm pinching, clamping my right leg down, and I'm finishing, or he steps all the way over. You'll notice, even before I let him go to his back, because if he goes to his back, I lose control over that shoulder. But if he comes back here, and he's on the side, right, I want to make sure that it's heavy, so then I can finish that armbar. Okay? Questions with that? Just be careful, it's a snappy one. All right, 1, 2, 3. When he comes in, but instead of me going deep, I'm going to go more shallow. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to his arm, and I'm gonna pull. I'm gonna go like wrist to wrist, and I wanna make sure that my elbow is peeking up at the ceiling like this. So that when he tries to pull out his arm, I have connection, right? Then I can either release and frame, or I can just snake out and bring my shin on the inside here. I could be hooking if I need push and pull, or I can keep it down here, depending on your rule set. So if you're keeping it down, a little bit higher. If you're gonna hook it, keep it a little bit higher, lower like this. So the finishing mechanics is, I'm gonna extend my right shin straight. I'm gonna pull my elbow to my right and drive my head to my left. So it's like this, here. Just like that, super simple, right? So again, knee shield, he comes in. We're gonna go like this and keep it nice and clamped. If my elbow's up, it's hard for him to pull out, and if I'm going to pull out your arm on me, yeah, I have good control. Then I can snake out, bring my shin in. I'm gonna extend as I pull this to my right, and my head goes to my left. Here, and boom, like that. I don't wanna adjust my hands, do this, or anything like that. The nice thing is that if his thumb goes down, right, you can always just drive and then go right back to the Choi bar thing that we did. So, one more time. I'm hooking, no knee shield. I'm coming a little bit higher on the elbow. We'll do a little test here, try to pull out your arm. Good. I'm gonna snake out, bring my shin on the inside. I extend, right, left. Extend, right, and then left, and then finish. If he turns his thumb down, I drive, and I go for that same Choi bar variation where I'm here. Okay, any questions? It's a real snappy one. If it doesn't feel like you have control, then it might be due to the pinch and how close your head is into their body. So as soon as you overhook or underhook, make sure you try to pull it out. You should maintain good pressure the whole time. Okay, 1, 2, 3.